Behold, a cold open.
So I saw a lot of you nerds getting really excited about the fusion energy breakthrough. And I need you to know that that's not the real story here. We found the biggest scientific discovery of the, I don't know, century, and it was in the replies.
Yeah, it wasn't some egghead in the lab. It was someone with boots on the ground in the real world doing the work.
Yeah, us looking at posts. We found it in the replies to a spooky video. The account is oddly terrifying.
I gotta tell you, this video is not that scary. It's called Boat Collides with Massive Wave in the Deep Sea, and I thought, like, that's scary. But then you see it, and like, this is like a real heavy-duty ass, like, Navy boat. And that wave's not that big. The boat's fucking fine. There's no way this wave is gonna do anything to the boat. However, a dumb person who doesn't have a genius mind looking for the breakthroughs would stop reading there, but we didn't stop. Because we saw a motherfucker reply to this video. This is sit down.
I gasped.
Folks.
I gasped.
Yeah.
If I was holding a coffee mug, it would have been dropped.
Yeah. Take your monocles off now. They'll fall out when I read this shit. And again, like, if you thought that the fusion energy breakthrough was, like, exciting, you're going to feel like such the fool for not getting on this story instead. The reply is, not only the water, referring to not only is the water scary, not only the water, but also they who lives there that makes me scared of the sea. And Joe, this next clause is incredible. And no, it's not fish. You wouldn't even believe me when I said, well, he's right about that. You wouldn't even believe me when I said my grandpa saw a black giant sitting on the stone in the middle of the sea. By giant, I mean 20 plus meters tall.
You know the stone in the sea? When you stand on it, you are king of everything?
Yeah, the famous stone in the sea. Usually no giants on it. So you can imagine how off-putting it would be to see the famous stone that you know so well.
My grandpa, who often drifts while holding on to a piece of wood, came upon a stone, and on it, a huge man.
Yeah.
So giants are real.
Yeah, they are. And it's not like God of War, where it's like the frost giants. That's just their name. They're not all big. It's like, I hate that shit. Where like, oh, your little baby son is a frost giant. I'm like, oh no, he's small, idiot. He's not a giant. Anyway, no, 20 meters tall or more. That's giant. Sitting on the stone. Oh, that's scary. And yeah, some guy replies to him.
Saying, like, hey, can I get any more information? Just any more. You really got me by the collar.
Yeah, you dropped a big bomb on me here. I'm trying to put the pieces back together. I need some reference material. He says, what he actually says is, okay, now we need details. Details is in all caps. And the tone that our original friend, our original giant talking guy takes is like, wow. I consider myself a talented comedy writer, but if I was writing a sketch like this, I would not think to add this character trait. He says in response to, okay, now we need details. What details?
Like, was I not fucking clear?
Did I stutter, fucker? What details? About them, the black giant, or what? As far as I know, most of them live on the sea. Depends on where you live. They have a different appearance. And yes, they are what we called them jinn/ghost, not spirit. That's a different being. Not Satan. He can't get out from hell.
Here are the rules of the world.
Satan can't get out from hell. Well, where'd you get that from, buddy?
And there is no hell, only Satan, and he's just always just kind of dicking around.
Hell is where Satan is. He brings hell with him.
Yeah,
hell is
his domain expansion.
It's exactly his domain expansion. What details? Like he's a foe. You ask me details about the Black Giant? How dare you?
I do think it's worth noting that it is a genie.
It has a different appearance based on where you're from. Why would that have anything to do with it?
So it's always culturally appropriate. it's literally the reason I can think of.
Remember how in fucking Mass Effect the Asari are supposed to be like, there's the blue ladies. They're supposed to look like what's hot to every species, which like is an incredible implication because like, does this mean that they're like psychically manipulating everyone? And like, if so, holy shit, what else can they do? Except like that's brought up exactly once, and like no one makes mention of it. But it's one of those like pieces of lore that's like, excuse me, that is not passing codex shit. Anyway, that's not important. What's more important is that so this guy wanted to know more details about the Black Giant. The original guy got upset with him and then dropped some genie knowledge. Now, Joe, what reaction do you think that the detail wanter, what reaction do you think he'd have to that response?
A GIF, maybe?
A GIF, maybe. I think he might be like, "You're talking nonsense." That's my guess. If I had someone respond to me with this, I'd be like, "Yeah, no, you're nuts, pal. You're nuts."
I didn't ask for Satan information. You just volunteered that.
No, this guy responds with, "That would be a terrifying thing to see. I've heard the word jinn before, but I didn't realize it applied to something out of the ocean or something so huge." And it's like,
now you're scaring the guy. You know what it is? He is just an NPC in an RPG town. Like he's just giving you, like, oh, here's the scariest monsters around. Here's what our problem is. I hope someone does something.
I was playing Final Fantasy V in my Final Fantasy playthrough project. I didn't like that. I didn't finish it. I didn't like it that much. I sort of got to where I'm like, okay, I feel like I've gotten everything out of this. But the main bad guy is X-Death, the sorcerer. And there's one townsperson in a town whose like thing that they say is, "I hate that X-Death." That's this guy. Also, I want to know like the logical thought process that gets you from, "I have heard the word jinn before." This guy says a jinn sits on the stone in the ocean. Therefore, I'm scared. I didn't know. Like, I've heard about Clifford the dog. Like, I've heard that word before. But if you told me Clifford sits on the stone in the sea,
he's not supposed to be there, Tom.
I wouldn't be like,
it's very scary.
Original guy says, they can be anything that we want them to be. They feed on your fear. They only take shapes based on what we imagine. Holy shit, this is exactly that shit I was talking about with these Asaris. That's why there's no Kuyang in America, just like there's no Pokong in Canada. It'll be a long explanation in case you really want to know about them.
Yeah. So do you still think fusion energy is cool?
Oh, shit. Before we had the cold open there, I never saw this one before. A third fucking guy swoops into the conversation here. Wow. Really, really rebuts our original guy with a stunt. Like, just goes to show, science is ever evolving. It's never settled. This guy sweeps in at the very end of this conversation to say, "Jinns are not visible to humans."
Yes. Yes. There's always someone who is taking it more seriously.
You know, we talk about how Twitter is very bad, and it really is. And we're going to talk about it more after we get to the warm middle, after we get past the cold open. Ew! But, man, no one's talking about gin like this.
No. I can't believe you could still be excited about fusion energy.
Yeah. I mean, If you could tell me, if you had a video of the stone in the sea and a fusion reactor was sitting on it and it was 20 meters tall,
Yeah, obviously
then
I'm
I'd
scared.
be like, whoa.
That's very scary.
Yeah, but hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we take a look at the 4 pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
Joe, it's been a long time since we talked about devil fruits on the podcast, the magical fruit from One Piece, where you take a bite and it makes you into a strange person with powers, and it makes you unable to swim. Well, turns out they're real sometimes, and you can swim when you eat them in real life. The reason I bring this up is because today we're going to talk about a very relevant fruit that you're seeing the powers of more and more these days, and that's the mods fruit.
So, here's what I've learned over the last 6 years. If you complain in a very specific way, the way that you're like, I'm being treated unfairly all the time, even if it's not happening, the world just sort of bends to your will, trying to placate you.
Yeah, like we've talked in the past, even vocal in the past, that complaining kicks ass. We have an episode about complaining kicking ass. It's one of our most listened to. It really speaks to our philosophy. Just to recap, why does complaining kick ass? Well, it's because all of us are crushed under forces that we will never have the possibility to lessen or take away. We will always have to work. We will always be under the boot of capitalism. We will always be oppressed by the evil men. And it really sucks. And what they would like for us to do is think that this is natural and take it. And most people do take it. That's why it's so
including
useful.
us.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got to take it. But that's why it's so useful to take that catharsis of complaining, of whining, of bitching, of moaning, refusing to accept the burden as natural or good. I hate the burden. The burden is so fucking dumb. Ooh, this burden sucks ass. Other people hearing this who carries the same burden will say, wow, the burden does suck ass. I'm not crazy to think that the burden sucks ass, because everyone else is like, the burden's normal. You better not fucking whine, but it's good to whine sometimes. However, if you have eaten the mods fruit, you become a mods human, and you start complaining in the way Joe is describing, which I think the most pithy way to describe it is you start screaming for the mods and pissing your pants.
Yeah. As a sort of example, we have a drill tweet, which is, mods, one of those obscene low-follower account boys stole a lick from the delicious lolly that father brought me. Ah, how dreadful. So, like, that's funny. That's funny, but it's also, like, how everything operates now, which we will show you shortly.
It's really amazing how this motherfucking drill is, so, like, from 2015 this tweet is. And nothing could better sum up the hateful mods fruit vibes that are endemic on the platform these days. You can't fucking get away from this goddamn mods shit. So you may have seen going around the big thing, what they really want the big thing to be on Twitter, is Elon Musk, Matt Taibbi, and Barry Weiss, the 3 geniuses, are trying to get you really scandalized by the Twitter files. The Twitter files, that's their big thing. Everyone, way we've broken the story. This is one of the greatest injustices in the history of America. Devastating crimes that we are being Woodward and Bernstein to bring to you unvarnished and bare. The straight truth, folks. The entire thing, the entire fucking purpose of the Twitter files is to prove that conservatives were shadow banned, which, as we've defined in the past, is the idea that there are not, I'm not getting the amount of people telling me that my posts are good that I am owed. Everyone needs to tell me that my posts are good and that my conservative opinions are not dumb, and it's not happening. Therefore, mods, help, wah!
And it works. Like, it was just like a thing people were posting about, or like reply guys were bitching about, and it's become reality.
I mean, he fucking owns Twitter. Like, he's the boss.
Yeah.
Very funny bit is that the actual takeaway, like the only thing I've seen, and I haven't looked into it because I fucking care about myself and I treat myself well, so I don't read the fucking Twitter files. But the only thing I've seen that actually has been sort of like an eyebrow raising thing, like, oh wow, okay, this is new, is that Libs of TikTok, the account that is the guy who decides where Agent 47 goes, is legally allowed to break the rules without response. There's a big fucking banner at the top of their account in the internal
like, do
view.
not touch. Very important person.
Yeah, you cannot take action without, like, C-suite approval. And you wonder, how did this happen? You know, like, what the fuck? How did Libs of TikTok get to be, like, untouchable when all they do is be like, you should look at this fucker. Sure have a lot of blood on the inside. What if it was on the outside? And, like...
Yeah, and an address.
yeah.
You forgot that part.
Yeah, the reason is because they went, mods, they're being mean to me. They're discriminating me because of my conservative views. And all their little fucking followers go, mods. And you might be thinking, oh, Tom, stop doing this fucking voice. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing about the mods fruit that makes it so evil and such a powerful tool in the hands of evildoers. Because this type of complaining is the most pants-pissing, pathetic, annoying shit. When you see people screaming the mods, and who are the mods? It doesn't matter. It's whoever. But the mods will see this and be like, oh my god, shut up. And will do anything they can to make this shit, this fucking sound go away. Stop. Just shut up. And thus, you get the fucking Libs of TikTok enshrined forever as an untouchable, beautiful fixture of Twitter forever. And, I mean, let's also be clear, like, they don't even use their mods fruit powers just to protect themselves. Like, the entire content of the Libs of TikTok account is complaining to the mods. They complain to the mods about other users breaking the terms of service and demand that they get banned. That's classic mods behavior. However, in this case, when I say they complain to the mods means the scariest guys you've ever imagined. The other users they're complaining about are all gay people. The terms of service they're breaking are being alive. And the demand they get banned is to be murdered. I don't know if you've been watching the news, but it happens. The murders occur.
It's wild. And that also, the rhetorical strategy of just sort of like always pounding the table and talking about how you're being treated unfairly by the mods makes the conversation about fairness instead of your own actions.
Yeah. And it also makes it makes the conversation not even just about fairness. It makes the conversation about, like,
I am aggrieved.
The loud guy. It's like, it's not even about what you're saying. It's about how can we make this loud fucker shut up because he's so annoying. Like, that's I think the key here that makes it so effective is that, like, if you're not in the weeds, like, if you don't know exactly what the thought process of these evil fuckers is, if you don't see what they're actually saying, and why would you if you're not following them, like, if you're not, like, following the process, and
you mostly just see this person saying they're aggrieved, it's unfair, etc., and other people agreeing. That's what you see.
And the people, and, like, say, for example, what they're complaining about is patently false. For example, Elon, you can't get mad at Elon. Mods, they can't get mad at Elon because Elon made the child porn go away. Mods, if I were to be like, well, actually, don't you don't you consider that that's a little odd? Like, how would you know? I mean, I never saw any of that stuff, and how can you tell when there was more or less unless you were looking for it? I mean, wouldn't that say something about you? And also, actually, if you look at the news, you'll see that he actually fired the team that was responsible. You like trying to be like actually and like address the facts makes you look like the weird one.
You're Lisa Simpson in that exchange. You lose.
You lose. The Mods fruit grants evil powers from the devil fruit, and it fucking works. Like, you can just say shit. All that matters is the tone. All that matters is that you pissed your pants in front of the mods and caused a scene.
Trump was very good at this because he did it with, like, the New York Times.
Yeah.
He was just always saying, like, oh, they're very unfair to me. This publication is very unfair to me. And then, in the interest of getting access, they are increasingly friendly to him. And he continues to say it's unfair. It's like, do you not see how, like, the game that gets played, how he always gets more?
Yeah. And it's especially astonishing how Trump used the Mods fruit flower because, I mean, he was president. Like, he got the ultimate reward, which was he fucking was the leader of the country.
The nuke bag. He got the nuke bag.
You'd think, like, surely like, the whole point of mods is that you are appealing to some authority figure that is going to put things right. Make me right. Make me have the right scenario. I don't like how this is. Make it right. But, like, you'd think that wouldn't work once you are the authority, and yet it fucking does. Actually, the thing about Trump that is so unique, the way he was an awakened fruit user. I don't know if you know about this show, but you can actually get so good at using your devil fruit that you awaken it, and you awaken a stronger secondary power that it contains. And he is the only awakened user of the
Did it happen to Luffy?
Oh yeah, dude. Are you fucking kidding?
Is it like a different type of stretchy?
It's a spoiler. I'm not gonna get into it.
Okay.
He is the only one to use the mods ability and not appear pathetic. Because that is the downside of using mods. Like, as you know, as everyone knows who sees Elon do his stupid shit, he looks so fucking pathetic. Trump was stupid. He looked dumb. He looked silly. He did not look pathetic. And that was what made him a national superstar and winner of the election. Because he, like, I remember there's one time when the Democratic messaging thing was, our new attack vector is to say that he's whiny. They noticed his mods shit and, like, he's whiny. Hit him with that. People aren't going to like that. And I don't have the exact wording of his response, but he just killed that entire attack vector instantly. He was like, well, yes, I am whiny when I don't get my way. That's because then I will get my way.
I will continue to press the win button. Like, I don't, what? But what is funny, though, he was whiny, like, genuinely whiny about showers and toilets. He had his grandpa rant about how toilets aren't like they used to. You can't flush huge turds like you used to.
Remember that Seinfeld episode where they all had low water pressure because, like, the building did some stupid shit and there wasn't enough water pressure? And, like, the way that they portrayed that was, like, everyone's dumb, poofy hair was, like, slightly squashed. And I remember watching that as a kid and being like, I don't know enough about water pressure to know what it would do to your hair. And now as an adult, I still think that shit makes no sense. Why would it make your hair less tall?
He saw that episode. And that's just one of those things that, bubbled to the surface.
Yeah. It sucks ass. It really sucks how all these fucking mods people, they have their little pants pissing tantrum. It's just very demoralizing to see them do this shit that sucks. It sucks, dude. And then they get, like, rewarded, and because of that, you have to see them more, and seeing them more means you're seeing more whining. Like, we've been making mention of Elon. He is truly the key of this whole resurgence. He is both a mod now and a guy saying mods. I think one of the most horrible creatures that could ever be conceived of is this truly disgusting chimera of mod.
Like Frankenstein on top, vampire on the bottom. Like just two scary things together. So one way he can get out of the apparent like weirdness of raging against the mods when he is the mods is to do something like the Twitter files where you can rage at the ghosts of mods past.
Yes. Oh my god. And he did apparently. I haven't been following exactly, but I think he did some QAnon adjacent stuff lately.
It was the rabbit. Follow the rabbit. Okay.
Yeah. And there was a New York Times article that was like, it's impossible to tell what this means. No, it's very easy to tell what it means. He loves, like, QAnon is, again, objectively a pathetic movement to be involved in. It is just it is a nationwide political movement of mods. The whole appeal of Q is that, like, somewhere out there is a mod who will help do what
there was want. A mod in government. There was a shadow government, the deep state, the mod.
And the fact that it is unfalsifiable, that it's just made up shit, and that if something doesn't happen that Q said, you can just be like, an evil mod prevented the good mod from banning the user you don't like. They'll be like, oh, yeah, an evil mod. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Well, next time we'll get them. It's a forever conveyor belt of phantom enemies, and also phantom secret allies who, if I whine loud enough, they'll give me what I want. The thing is, you don't even need to have a phantom ally who'll give you what you want. Just the whining itself is so annoying that people will bend over backwards to do what you want. And that's why it's obvious to me why Elon would be a QAnon guy, because to ascend to modhood as he has could spell doom for his one fucking move, which is mods. Remember when he was trying to fucking build his child coffin to save the Thai children in the cave?
Yeah, and it didn't work, and then I believe the guy said, thank you, but it doesn't work, and you said, you're a pedophile.
Yes, exactly. You're a pedophile is mods. It's just a different dialect of it. You know how Jin look different based on where you're from? mods is worded differently based on, like, the tone of the scenario. But you're a pedophile is mods.
I can't believe he lost that court case. I thought that was a slam dunk defamation case. It turns out, no. The court was like, maybe he's got a point.
I love that, like, I saw someone talking about this on Twitter. I don't have it in front of me because I just got reminded of it. Sometimes I say I just got reminded of something and I didn't really, folks. I was lying. I have it in front of me. No, this time I really did. Where someone was like, well, I think maybe, that initial pedo guy post, you could make an argument that it was just a joke. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I can actually see that. Okay. And then the next response is like, well, actually, you may recall, he followed up to someone saying, are you joking, with betcha $1 it's true. And I'm like, oh, he did say that. How did fucking Elon win that case? How did he not get fucking found guilty for defamation? Well, I know how, because he yelled mods. And ding, that's the win button. He recently has really, he started to become too used to his powers. And I hate this. So there was that account that would...
I just want to say I love that this gets to play out in our phones. I just think that's neat.
It's all... Like, I want, Joe, I want nothing more than my phone to not emit that whiny sound. And yet, and as I go onto the blue app that I like where all my friends live, and there's a guy going, mods... And I have to sigh and be like, time for 50 fucking more of these. Elon has banned the account that automatedly posts where his jet is and has gone using public information. It just takes the public information about the whereabouts of Elon's private jet and posts it.
And the owner of it is a child, right?
He's like a youngish person, yeah. I wouldn't say this is an elderly gentleman who's done this. A private citizen,
Okay.
you would say. Didn't invest a lot. This wasn't hard to do. And he said when he was taking over Twitter, he's like, guys, don't worry. I will not yell mods. I will take this seriously. I won't even ban that Jet account because I care about free speech. You know, I care about free speech. I just do. So I'm not going to ban it. Well, not only has he banned it, he's banned that guy's personal account. And if you're like, where am I going to get my Musk Jet news? Like, well, don't worry. There's an Instagram account that does the same thing. And the guy made an Instagram version also. So I know what I'll do. I'll just post the link to the Instagram account on Twitter. Well, if you try to do that, Twitter will just say, yeah, I'm not fucking posting this. Error. Not posted, fucker. He has discovered, oh shit, I'm the mod. I can self-suck.
Yeah, so when he said he wasn't going to delete it before, he must have not realized he was the mod.
He's like, I will just continue using my incredible mods powers. I will win as I always do. And then he's like, wait a fucking minute. And I don't like that he solved this equation. I don't like that he know that 2 at 2 is 4. He shouldn't know this. But he does now. Okay. I think the key here really is that, like, when we're talking about complaining, kicking ass, what we're talking about is, like, articulating the real, actual, tangible details of an injustice that is being inflicted upon you.
Yeah, and when we do it, it's funny and lovable.
Yeah, because we're actually being accurate. We are naming the true things that are occurring.
We got out of the cave. We got bored of those shadows, folks.
Yeah, those shadows are lame. I'm one of the puppet guys now. I've really found my calling. The shadows, they were pretty cool at first, but they got boring. And wanna know why? Yo, don't tell anybody I said this. But I'm like in the shadow puppet troupe now, and a lot of these guys have just no creativity. They got no spark. They got no love of the game. They've fallen into a rut, and honestly, I can see why the shadows aren't very exciting these days.
Puppet people are monsters. They're the worst people. I know the diagram of the cave is such that, like, they are walking in front of a high wall, so they might not see the chained people, so they don't know that they're actually contributing to this. But they're the real villains.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I fucking saying? Oh, yeah. When we complain, it's good because we are actually being accurate and articulating concepts that are swirling around mist-like around the heads of all of us, obscuring our vision, and we pull them into sharp focus so you can see the true shape. Using the mod sound fruit, it really is important to understand what you say, what you're complaining about is not important. And in fact, it's probably more effective to be moaning about some shit that is made up and makes no sense.
Or that it's like very needlessly complicated.
Yeah,
this type of yes, it's just like at a glance, you're just like, what the fuck is happening here?
Because when you hear someone shriek shrilly mods and they speak concisely and clearly about like this is happening, you go, oh, the mod who's taken aback, and for a lot of these scenarios, the mods is just the public at whole. The thing that they're mad about is the public isn't telling me I'm right, so thus the public is the mods. They're gonna see that and be like, oh shit, okay, got it. Well, didn't know about that. Good to know. And then, as we said, the stragglers running up, being like, oh, actually, and like the explanation that debunks it is by necessity longer than the lie, and so I'm not gonna listen to that shit. Which is why it's so fucking like. I was seeing people, because I think some Ron DeSantis' lawyers had to define woke in a court, because like the judge is like, when you keep saying this fucking word, what does it mean? And they had to define it, and it was like, woke is the acknowledgement that there are injustices in America, and like people were like, what a slam, because that's true. Why would you disagree with that. You'd have to be an idiot to disagree with that. Well, okay, folks, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Because it's not a word; it's a cudgel. Like,
yeah, woke means bad.
It's a target. Like, you're at this point. People say "go woke, go broke" around shit that makes no sense. It's very funny to me, but at this point, it's just an identifier. It doesn't mean what you think it means if you think it like stands for something. It's just a way for the group to target.
It means bad. Like if you start reading when they talk about woke and you just mentally switch out the word woke with bad, it makes a lot more sense. And it also will make you stop trying to talk them out of it, stop trying to argue with them. Because like if woke is bad, like that's very powerful. Like that's an incredibly motivating thing for someone, because Joe, I don't know if you know this, bad is not good.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. I went to college and that came up.
Yeah, so if you see someone promoting wokeism, translate that to their brain, they're promoting badness. Badness is bad.
Yeah, they're just doing badness.
Yeah, and like if you're a Democrat and you're like, I'm proudly woke, because you should be. I mean, if to use the actual definition of the word, you should be proudly woke. However, when you say that, what they hear is, I love being bad. I love doing shit that sucks. I want the world to be bad. And it's like, it's very easy then.
It's also a one size fits all answer to everything.
Yes.
Like, it's, you can just use it to sort of steamroll over the particulars of whatever you're yelling about.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's like, it's so powerful that it doesn't mean anything, because as we say, it's you don't have to fucking spend any time in your whining to like get into particulars. You just be like, whoa, go broke, mods. And also, like, because it is so vague and just means bad, and you know, people who actually know what it means use it correctly, but they just see bad everywhere. Bad people talking about bad. Like, don't you know bad's bad? It is a very powerful motivator to get these people into the pants pissing mode, into the pants shitting, whining, screaming mode that you need to get into in order to activate the mods fruit. I can't stress this enough. You need to be pissing your pants for this to actually work.
There's also an element here where you have to be part of the story. Like, the person using the mods fruit, it has to be a character in this injustice. Like, they're talking about what's happening to them all the time. Mm-hmm. And one thing you left out when we talked about the plane tracker is there was a sentence or something about how he's going to leave it up even though it's like a danger to himself.
Yes, I forgot about that.
And that's a certain type of brain rot that like also like middle-aged guys with like tactical gear get, which is they think they're always part of an op.
Yes, dude. I see this so fucking much. An incredible, like, as useful and all size fits all as woke is as a fuel for the mods powers, less one size fits all, but still very prevalent, is the fact that liberals protested outside of Supreme Court justices' houses ever. I felt so happy when that happened, but it has backfired in a huge way, because basically any time anyone says, I sure would like it if you right-wing people would stop calling for assassin, if you would stop fucking sending Agent 47 to people's houses.
Quit making him do the DLC.
Yeah. If you would stop calling for blood all the time, that would really be good. And they can just be like, mods, they were outside the Supreme Court justice's house, mods. And would
like,
you believe
the subtext
it works.
The reason it worked so quickly also is that the unspoken rule is here is that the judges are higher on the totem pole than everyone. So like,
yeah, they are mods. They're
the mods in robes.
Yeah, they decide what the terms of service are. Fuck, it's so annoying. And I made sure to to stress over and over that like it's only worse if you're pissing your pants. You have to be annoying, you have to be shrill, you have to be screechy, and you have to be making such an annoying scene that everyone wants to cater to you. Just you'll shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like that's why Libs of TikTok is enshrined forever with the ability to break every rule, because if you were to actually take any action against them, oh my God, you would get, not only would you be getting whined at all the time, you would be getting whined in the form of fucking Agent 47s coming to your house for doing an evil thing and being woke. Woke means bad. Don't be bad. This is why liberals cannot, I mean, maybe there are some examples that I can't think of, but for the most part, they cannot go mods, at least not anywhere near the level of right-wing people. And the reason is because they're not shrill enough. They're not pissing their pants enough. Because, and here's the awful irony, it's because they're right. They're not always, like liberals aren't always right, but they're righter than right-wing people. You know, they have more of a grasp on reality. They think it's bad to send Agent 47 to places. Like, that's right. It's correct. It's
right.
Bad to do that. And because they know that, they're sort of like confident and smug about it. They're not pissing their pants. I got the truth on my side. Why would I do that? And because they're not, it doesn't fucking work. Example that I keep fucking seeing is every time there's news about some new stupid shit Elon did using his mods powers, be it firing all these people, be it just being like, I'm not going to give the severance I said I was going to. I'm not going to do it. Or like, I don't know, I saw something like he's going to try to make it required that you have your location data on all the time on Twitter so that he can sell it to people. Every time this happens, someone smugly does a response which wants so badly to be a mods fruit power usage, but it instead is just, well, he can't do this. Doesn't he know? It's illegal in the EU. Buddy, that doesn't fucking matter.
You think Europe's real?
Do you think, just because, again, the reason this is a fail, the use of the mods fruit, is because there is an implicit call to the mods. There's an implicit ask to the mods, which is the people who enforce the laws. Like, mods, he broke the terms of service. But there's no pants shitting. There's no pissing. It's not shrill. So it doesn't fucking matter. And also, because if there were to be a response, do you know what the people would do? You know what Elon's fucking army would do? They would go, mods, Elon's being treated unfairly.
By the EU.
By the EU. Like, the people who are in charge of enforcing these laws. Like, remember, it's easy to forget this. All groups are guys at work, you know?
Yes.
Like, and if you've ever been a guy at work, well, one thing that you know is that you don't want to be doing some stressful shit.
Every coup, every war started as guys at work.
Yeah. Like, I do not fucking want to have to do a difficult thing. I don't want anyone to know about, I won't have anyone to have an opinion about my work day. Who cares? Shut up. I just want to get through this and get a fucking check, man. And I'm sure that most of the people at these regulatory agencies are just like me, dude. Because most people are just like me. Who likes work? Freaks. Freaks are a minority. Anyway. If I am in one of these agencies and I see Elon Musk doing a flagrantly illegal thing, I imagine to myself, okay, what would happen if I were to be on the team in charge of enforcing this law? Well, Libs of TikTok would send Agent 47 to kill me.
Yep.
I don't want to do that. I'm not going to prosecute. I'd love to be wrong, but I've seen no fucking action from any of these groups about these clearly illegal in the EU things, and I don't think I'm gonna.
No, I do understand the EU is the only regulatory body that did anything to Google ever, so I think that's why people think that maybe they can bring the hammer down.
Yeah, but Google and the fans of Google don't have an army of people who have eaten the mods fruit.
Remember their don't be evil shit?
Yeah, dude, that's that having that be your corporate slogan is huge. Things will never get bad and fucked up energy.
you're like you use the Dead Zone site to see where this will go, and you're just like, don't be evil.
Yeah, and it's like if you ever change that slogan, everyone's gonna know what that implies.
Yes, gentlemen to evil. That toast happened.
But like, like if you were to post like Google is so fucking bad, I hate them, they're not woke enough, you're not gonna have 100 reply guys yelling mods in your replies, making your life a living hell, making it so annoying to keep hearing them that you delete everything, you delete your account, you go away, so that you can finally shut up the horrible sound, and then they win because you're gone. Like the closest you get is that guy who was fired for truth. Do you remember that guy who wrote like a big article that's like, all girls suck ass at coding and they do not like Goodfellas, and also their vaginas smell scary to me, and he got fired and he became fired for truth and tried to become like a right-wing like celebrity. That guy,
the
was
handle
a
was
washout.
so good. Fired for truth was so good, and he did not have the talent to carry that handle, and we are poor because of it.
Yeah, he was a washout. He didn't have the juice. He didn't have the shooters in his corner to yell mods.
He tried to pivot to like reasonable centrism. I remember he posted like something to the effect of, not unlike a bird, this country can only work when the left wing and right wing are in sync. And it's just like, dude, you got fired for truth.
Fired for truth.
I just can't imagine having like a manifesto and being like, everyone at work needs to see this.
Yeah, yo, it's exactly that. I'm not writing anything on my off time that I want to show to anyone at work. If anyone at work learned that I did this podcast, I'd just be like, it's like, so what? How much is your life worth to you? like, understand what it would mean for you to speak about this, okay? I just want you to make sure. I want to make it very clear to you. And this guy was like, "Hey, so girls, am I right? What are they for?" Anyway, read my manifesto, and it's just like, oh god. And he didn't have the juice. If what he could have done is gone mods. He wasn't annoying enough. He wasn't shrill enough. You know what? Actually,
he did do it a fair amount. I think it was the face issue. He had a very narrow. He had a John Kerry head.
Oh, he did. That's not a good look. That fucking picture of John Kerry kicking the soccer ball is so unpleasant to look at. It's just like, that's not a shape that I want to see.
His extension is pretty good.
But it's too good is the thing. It's just like, you're a droopy dog. You don't kick like that. No, okay, Joe, here's the thing. Here is the reason. He was doing, and we were just making fun of, like, can you believe that he would try to be a centrist? He had the same problem that liberals had, which is he thought too highly of his own intellectualism. He thought that his stupid manifesto was the actual, like, result of reasoned thought and, like, rational thought. And he thought it was correct, and he believed in it as a true document. He was too smug and confident in his truth. You can't be smug and confident. You can't have an actual manifesto. You have to just be like, woke, that's bad. I don't like bad mods. That's what works. He wasn't pissing his pants enough. He was like, oh my God, my third eye is opening. Fired for truth even implies, like, confidence in oneself. The ability to speak truth implies a confidence and self-assurance that prevents the mod fruit from being activated. This is why the fact that Elon Musk is a pathetic piece of shit who clearly hates himself is not a downside for him. It is an asset. Everyone laughed when he went on the Dave Chappelle show and got booed and said, "I'm ruh, instead of "I'm rich, bitch," because he can't talk. He said, "I'm ruh, everyone laughed.
I refuse to watch it. He really messes up syllables.
Yeah.
Like us.
Yes. Well, he does something where it looks like he's trying to Naruto run, but without running. He just sort of like bends down and puts his arms behind him, and he does that for a couple seconds, and then he sort of stands up and looks around, and there's a bunch of people milling around on stage. You know how when you're at a comedy show and there's like a crowd milling around?
Yeah, it's not clear who has the focus. Yeah.
He's trying to say, I'm rich, bitch. He says, I'm rich. And it's one of the worst things I've seen in my life. And you'd think, well, he is now absolutely humiliated beyond belief. Surely this is going to do some damage to him. No. What it's going to do is it's going to make him piss his pants more and yell mods even louder. And it's going to make him more powerful. And I hate him. And you know what I hope is that he died.
There will be more tweets about the woke mind virus that is keeping him from getting to Mars.
Like, people make fun. Like, I can't believe he used to think that getting to Mars was so important, and now he's all into the woke mind virus. Well, actually, think about it from this way. He's talking about, when he's saying that, what he's hearing in his mind is the bad mind virus. Well, I don't want people to have a bad mind.
Yeah, they're in the way.
Like, obviously, we're not going to make any progress if a lot of people have bad mind. I think that's kind of self-evident. Bad mind, that's bad. How do I know? It's bad.
And who has it? All of my enemies.
Yeah, and I would know that because they're my enemies because they're bad. And they say that they like badness. That's why it was so funny when, like, people were shocked, like, right-wingers were shocked at the midterm results, that, like, there wasn't an absolute slam dunk Republican victory. Because, like, but I don't understand. Every Democrat, every candidate went on the air and said, hello, I would like for things to be very bad. I'm going to make it worse. I want things to be bad. And people voted for that? I don't understand. Yeah, and again, you'd think, like, they've drunk the Kool-Aid. They'll never be able to win now. Well, I'd sure like for that to be true. However, they've all eaten the mods fruit. And understanding reality and knowing true things is not necessary for that shit to work.
No, you just have to have a larger group saying your thing.
Yeah, and they got a big one.
Yeah. Every single court case where qualified immunity is a part of it is a cop saying, I was a scared little guy. I was a scared little guy. I did what I did because I was scared. I was frightened for my life. As you know, they take those workshops that are like how to kill and get a boner.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously they then still have to do that. Like, if they are involved in a legal situation, that is the role they play, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I am scared. This was a life or death situation.
I'm pissing my pants. You can't get mad at me. I'm being wronged. Mods. They look at the judge. They make direct eye contact with the judge and go, mods. And then the judge is like, well, what can I say? I would love for this whiny fucking guy to go away. Yeah, sure. You get what you want. Can you leave? And then they leave. And the judge is like, whew, that's over with. This tweet, we opened this up with a tweet that from Drill that summarized what it means to yell mods. And I think this is yet another example. A real clear articulation of what this is all about. This is a very famous tweet. I dated a 5'8" guy who would taunt every jacked 6'3" bro he met until they'd pull their fist back to beat him up. Whereupon, my ex would go, hey, come on! I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's also my birthday. I'm a little birthday boy. And it somehow always worked.
Yeah. I bet it always worked. Like, if you can get over the shame aspect, you can fuck around in the debug mode of life. Like, you can really do weird things.
You can no-clip into the actual White House. And,
yeah.
like...
You can do very strange things. I remember I was sitting in a Mexican restaurant, and a homeless person came in to ask for money, and this is obviously something I've seen before. But this guy's tactic was he came in and he said, "Can I have $1?" But he did it in a baby voice. And
fuck, you've talked about this guy before.
And no joke, like everyone was like getting their fucking wallets out like so fast because like it was just like I did what? This has to stop.
This happens in again, I'm fucking mentioning traveling to Spain. In Spain, at outdoor restaurants, this will happen a lot. That people with a fucking guitar will come up and basically shoot the loudest, worst music you've heard into your face until you give them money to leave. And Like, that's mod shit, except the thing is, like, they are still technically playing a musical instrument. And, like, they're not playing discordant shit like, they are still playing chords. So, like, that is a root, a third, and a fifth. So, like, okay, that is good to hear, technically, even if it's not, like, played well, which is the problem. I can ignore that. They need to just be going, like, making fart sounds and saying baby words, and then I would bring my fucking wallet out in a second.
Yeah, they didn't.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they embrace the. I don't want to say evil, but like, just really run with it.
Yeah. You need to absolutely leave your dignity behind, which is why we will never be able to do this. We care too much about our integrity.
We don't have any, but like we are still mourning the loss of the null value.
Exactly. Like, yeah.
There's actually another drill tweet that makes me think of this phenomenon exactly.
Gimme.
Actually thought this was going to be the tweet that you read initially.
Oh, wow. Gimme.
See this watch? I got it by crying. My car, crying. My beautiful wife, crying. My perfect teeth, crying. Now get the fuck out of my office. Like, that's Christ. Correct. That's it. That is it. Like, that is not a joke. That's how it works.
Yep. Why is Elon Musk doing all this shit? Well, that's why. Fuck. Well, Joe, actually, I don't know if I have anything more to say about the Mods fruit. That was a really good sum up from Drill. But before we go, I'd like to briefly resurrect, while we're on the topic of devil fruits, a long dormant segment of Anime Sickos. Specifically, guess the devil fruit, whereupon I name a devil fruit and I have you attempt to guess what it fucking does.
I don't read One Piece. Oh, I read up until Crocodile getting his ass kicked, but
yeah,
that's like saying I read the first blank page in the Bible.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I've read Moby Dick. It starts with call, and it's like, you mean call me Ishmael? I'm like, oh, I didn't read that much. Yeah, and so you're not gonna know. And also, the reason I'm resurrecting this long dormant segment is because this is actually a newly introduced fruit, or I think it might have been introduced in the past, but it's used for the first time. It was introduced in the past. It was one of those things where like text appears on a panel next to like a big picture of a guy who's like new, and it has like boom 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 his name written out in big letters and like user of this fruit, but he didn't actually do anything. Well, he finally did something with the fruit. So I'm gonna drop a fruit on you. It's gonna sound like you're gonna be able to get it right away, and you will probably be able to get some of it right away, but there is a specific thing that I'm looking for that when you hear, you will make a funny reaction. So I'm talking about the sick fruit. Not sicko fruit. Sick fruit. What do you think about the sick fruit?
It's about debuffs for sure.
You're on the mark there.
It helps you spread a contagion that weakens your enemies.
See, I knew you would get this right away. You're very insightful.
Cool. The debuff icon, it's not green. Green is too pukey.
Yeah,
It's like a malaise purple. Am I close?
Could I think what's more important here, because you're talking about a sort of abstract metaphorical icon. There's no icons. I want you to. What do you think? You know, if I'm like an Eiichiro Oda writing my story and someone is a sick fruit, and it does, as you say, spread a contagion to one's enemies, what would that be? What would the form of said contagion be? Like, what would, like, how would you write that? Like, what would he be spreading?
Like what the actual vector of disease looks like?
Yeah, not like, is it fucking particles or something, but like, what is the debuff? Like fucking Soulstone survivors. There's daze, there's poison, there's rot, there's hemorrhage, there's bleed. Like, what is it that is being spread?
It makes it so all your limbs are very stiff.
That would be pretty devastating in a big ship battle, but no. Try to get a little more out there.
Everybody pukes.
Everybody, you've gone less out there. That's pretty much one of the first things you think of about getting sick.
Well, it's not diarrhea.
No, that would be pretty funny. That's right up Oda's alley in terms of humor. You can see a lot of guys running around clutching their butts, going, "No, that would be." I think he would like that, but no, he thought of something different.
Do they sneeze?
No, they don't sneeze.
They don't sneeze. They don't puke. I'm
going to give you a hint. This is a little bit more than I'm usually giving you. You seem to be stuck on a logical assumption that you've made that you were incorrect to have made. Now, you correctly guessed that the sick fruit spreads a contagion. What you incorrectly assumed is that this contagion is a disease.
Is it dancing?
Yo, you're getting closer. It's not dancing, but it's that kind of stupid. Yeah, he makes them all like ska. So, that's why I got the One Piece Vans the other day, because One Piece is getting really into ska these days, and it makes you skank. No, it is not dancing. I'm going to give you one more guess. Really pick something fucking dumb, and then I'm going to give you the answer, which is going to be way dumber than you imagined.
Makes people do a quilting bee.
That is pretty dumb, Joe.
Yeah.
To think that would be what gets spread. Well, Joe, here's what actually happens. The disease that Doc Q, the doctor of the Blackbeard pirates, spreads to his enemies with the sick fruit is the bimbofication virus. It turns all the boys into bodacious babes with huge titties. Now, he is using this on the crew of Trafalgar Law, captain of the Heart Pirates. Now, if you know anything about Trafalgar Law, you know that he constantly is either shirtless or is wearing an open shirt so you can see his big chest tattoo. Well, would you believe that when he gets turned into a babe with huge titties, that open shirt means that there's mondo jiggling cleavage.
So large, they are frightening, frankly.
Yeah. Now, you might be thinking, how is this useful in a battle? Well, it's useful because if you have enough panels of Trafalgar Law as a sexy lady with huge titties, it gives the sculptors a lot of reference material to make a Trafalgar Law sexy lady figure that they'll be able to sell to masturbators.
You will not be able to buy the old type of him.
And Joe, understanding that this offers really no tactical advantage. The bimbofication virus does not prevent them from using their powers or using weapons.
But they're just distracted, right?
I mean, kind of. But how do you think you fight back against this? What is the counter move to getting bimbofied by the sick fruit? If you're Oda and you're thinking, well, I don't want to leave him a girl forever. How do you break the spell?
Drinking a beer.
You see, Joe, you're thinking that would be a really good one if you just have a big mug of grog. No, they just kind of say, I'm sick of this, and willpower themselves back to being boys. and he's just they've undone my bimbofication virus, Captain. What can I do?
And no one's trying to switch back again one more time.
Anyway, fuck. Devil fruits are stupid. I love One Piece. That's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. Thank you for listening. I've been Tom, an Anime Sicko.
I've been Joe, an Anime Sicko.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.